Well, on my way out of New Jersey, man, there's nothing worse than that feeling. Well, yeah, there is. There's lots worse, but it's a bad feeling. You know, I felt bad after Time's race. One, I got parked and left with him as a long shot. I had every intention of not leaving with him, but aside from James winning from off the pace, which, you know, he's a stone cold closer, it just seemed to me like all night long, where you got away is where you finished, right? Now, Scotty had said, and he was right, that there just wasn't a hot pace all night long, and before Coach Stefanos' race, and he had predicted it right. He said, this might be the race to change the way that racing's been all night. So I was torn. You're not supposed to leave with the 71 shot into the favorites. At the same token, as I come up in behind the gate, I look left. 5's on the gate, right up on the iron. The 1 and the 2 these are the 3 horses to beat in the race. But also to my right, Tim Tetrick's revving his horse up a little bit. And I'm thinking to myself, the 1, 2, and 5 are going to leave. Likely what's going to happen, I'm thinking Time King is going to get out of there a little quicker than he did, just maybe a hair. I told you guys this the other day. We were talking about stay close and how Justin got parked. You can't half leave. No, I didn't half leave. But I didn't have the pedal slammed to the floor because I was just taking a quick peek left to see if there was a 3-hole or a 2-hole. In this situation, if I blast out of there, Todd stays too wide, lets me cross down in front, and keeps going to the front. But Dexter Dunn is so smart, and he's so wily. Like, that's the other thing. You come out here to the Breeders' Crown, you're driving against the smartest horseman on planet Earth, on the trainer's side and on the driver's side, and that is to take nothing away from anybody else. But this is the cream of the crop. They don't make mistakes. He certainly doesn't. Now I got Todd in a terrible spot in the first turn, and he was going to turn me. Halfway around the first turn, he grabs a hold. Dexter's just too smart. As soon as he grabbed a hold, Dexter started to ease out in behind me, just letting Todd know, hey, you turn this guy loose, I'm coming right now, and you are completely screwed. As soon as I felt him come off my wheel, I knew I was so done. And at that point, you just got to take your licks. On the wrong end of a bar fight. And there's nothing you can do. I knew leaving the gate, there's always a chance. Like last week in the elimination, there's always that chance you're going to get roughed up. But Time's usually pretty snappy on his feet. So is everybody else. I told Amy, I told Scotty, I'm not leaving. I'm going to get away 7th and be 3rd over. But when I look left and there's no spoilers, there's no flies for the ointment, it was going to line up 5-1-2. There might have been a little jostling between those 3 horses, but that's how it was going to be getting into the last turn. And if you're sitting 7th, who am I following? No one's coming. Anyway, it's all hindsight. It doesn't matter. I feel bad after the race. I cost Todd McCarthy the Breeders' Crown and Noel Daly, Captain Albano. Say what you want. That's on me. But that's racing. So happy to see James win a 2nd Breeders' Crown tonight. Come from last to do it. Well, the horse wasn't supposed to win. But again, half in 53 seconds, they mixed it up. And as I joked with Amy, she said we had to go back. I had to go back and get my driving bag. And she said, well, why didn't you take your driving bag over? I said, I don't really want anybody knowing who I am right now. I certainly don't want to walk through the grandstand with a driving bag and a whip over my shoulder. Hey, is that guy? But as much as I was feeling sorry for myself, it's been a rough weekend for some people. I'm not going to name people because I feel bad for them too. Anytime I watch the Yankees game, I just like to be the guy that struck out with 1 out and the bases loaded for the Yankees. You got to the World Series, you got your shot, you're up, bases loaded, 1 out, down by 2, base hit ties the game. You strike out. Next guy flies out. Dodgers win. These are the things that play out everywhere. And as much as you want to be Freddie Freeman, sometimes you're the guy from tonight. And it took me a good hour to make this video. How do you tell people you drove bad? Knowing what I saw looking left on the gate, I saw the whole race play out in 2 seconds. 1-2-5 lines up. Then I see Timmy leaving. I said, well, if they're going to throw Timmy a bone, he's going to get my fourth. I guess I was stricken with FOMO, fear of missing out. I just didn't want to not be fourth because I took back in the final of the Breeders' Crown with a horse that can leave. That's on me. So a tough Breeders' Crown final, proud that the stable had 3 horses in there, and as much as I say to myself, man, all we mustered was a 5th and 2 7ths. It was against the best horses in the world. Definitely North America. The best trainers, the best drivers. Memento Mori got all he could, got all he was going to get. For people out there saying I can't take a horse off the gate, I had no problem taking him off the gate. We started the night with Tactical Mounds. We all had hoped. Scotty was leaving. He looked left 3 steps out of the gate, and everybody else was too. He ends up almost 5 wide going into the first turn. He's got to backpedal to 10th. Well, at that point, you're just running a triage clinic. You're just trying to get what you can get. Try to figure out a way to get a bone, and him being Scotty, he did. But I saw the same race you did. There's no other way for that race to go either. Just the way it is. Allie's Got Grit won tonight. I told everybody I thought the way that horse raced last week that he probably would win tonight. I think he's coming on and he's peaking at the right time. He's going to race in the final. And I thought the final went for a lot less than it did. It looks like it's going to go for $148,000. I think he's got a legit, real good chance, that horse. There's some horses in there that have been doing well in the division, but he's peaking at the right time. He raced great last week. That win tonight's going to go a long way for his confidence. And although What a Lady, What a Night made a break, Jimmy said she warmed up good first trip, not so good second trip. And then Travis said after, he said, well, he was just trying to hold her together coming up to the gate. She made a break. And after he left her alone, she was trotting great. Well, yeah, all in that mess is exactly what I saw last week. We warmed up What a Lady, What a Night really hard last week. She probably ended up going 3 trips. And worked very, very hard. But out of it, ended up racing decent. I was hoping the shoeing changes we made tonight helped. But the telling part of what Jimmy's message to me is that first trip good, second trip bad. Okay, what happened in between the 2 trips? Did she tie up? Are her feet sore? Stifles maybe bothering her? How are we going to attack that? That's an important piece of information. He knows her very well. Great first trip, bad second trip. Okay, tell me why. She makes the final 2, so we're going to need some luck with her. But her attitude was good last week. Her head was screwed on straight. She just needed a little help, and hopefully we can get her some before the final. So now we get a 5th. My race isn't gone yet. We get a 5th, first, a break. Save America, leaves 8, gets away 5th, comes first over. Stone Cold Lever, but the 7 horse is also. Right? Ronnie just took his time getting to the front, made it difficult for Hunter to do anything. Had to get away 5th and end up first over with a horse that hates being first over. He's first over in the Gold Cup. He was first over last week. He was first over before when he's second at 48. First over again tonight. But again, you're relegated with the 8-hole. And if that's going to happen next week, then he's not racing at Northfield. I'll go to the Meadows with him before we'll take Rock Shining Star back down to Dayton and take Save America over to the Meadows. But we're not being saddled with the 8-hole on a half-mile track again with this horse. No way. And then, of course, the last race of the night was the most important one for me, anyway, aside from Mounds. I think I explained it as well as I could. They're going to pick these things up? Those deer that were just laying on the road, they're still there. Anyway, not the end of the year we wanted and I'll tell you, Steve had asked me a very important question. Steve Jerry had asked me a really important question. You know, where's he go after this? He just going to the field? No, he's not going to the field. Might give him a couple weeks off. He's not done. His stakes are done. But now we have to evaluate, is there a place for him to be racing? He's only got, 7 wins? I think 8 wins? 9 wins? He doesn't have 10, I don't think. So he fits in onwards of 10 somewhere. There should be a 3-year-old race. Likely a 3-year-old open at Mohawk. Might be a race for him at the Meadows. It might be one for him at Dayton. There's racing for times on my side. But we will give him a couple weeks. So with that, I'm going to let you guys go. To all my partners with time, I feel an apology is necessary, but at the same token, we came here to race. When I looked left coming off the car, I really thought our best chance to win the race or get as much money as we could was to go forward. Turned out I was wrong. That is racing, and as I said, I wasn't the only one stricken with that affliction this weekend. For the other people who I didn't name, who I'm sure are pretty down in the dumps about this weekend, and are world-class drivers to begin with, or trainers. That's racing. That's a Breeders' Crown, and congratulations to all the people that won. So very, very proud of my brother James and the work he's done. Happy I checked in with Mark today. He was pretty sore after his accident the other night, but you know what? He was in pretty good spirits and he was feeling pretty good. So glad I get to sit down with him. Now back to reality. Going back to Ohio tomorrow. We don't have any racing tomorrow, but we do have some horses on Monday. My first day back driving, I believe, is on Tuesday. We're going to pivot from Time Is On My Side to George of the Jungle. But back to work. So with that, I will talk to you all very soon. Hey, we get to race in the Breeders' Crown. It won't be our last, and hopefully it's onward and upward from here. Take care.